It sounds like it might be Eddie Alvarez who'll be the next MMA star jumping over to box somebody for Triller. I was
Yeah.
just wondering, what are your thoughts on Eddie possibly getting in there to box Oscar De La Hoya in June?
Well, I love Eddie because he's a Bitcoiner, and I felt bad about his last fight because I didn't agree with the referee's call at all. But I actually heard it's going to be Tyron Woodley. That's what I heard.
I mean, what advice do you have for him? Obviously, you guys have been really close.
Yeah.
What is your advice for
Tyron's
how
a Tyron's a much better boxer than myself. I don't got any damn advice for him. You don't try to give advice to someone that you're worse than.
uh, you'd say that you don't like being famous and everything. Can I ask why? Because I think a lot of people would say, Ben Askren, you're kind of pretty good at being in the public eye. You're
Oh God,
entertaining.
that's what my wife says too. She says like, I know you don't want this, but you seem to thrive in that environment, and to me it feels like a wrestling locker room where you guys everyone's just kind of talking shit, and you roll off your back, or some guy gets bothered, so then you keep antagonizing him. I don't know, like I just don't have the desire, and I guess in the case that I could give positive, I think like I have a quote, and I think I should probably trademark it at some point. But don't tie your ego to your outcome. And I said that on a Steve-O podcast, and a handful of people have commented. I've seen that said something like, "Hey, that really affected the way I think about things." And so, hey, if I could affect people in a positive way like that, I would love it. But I'm I think I'm borderline autistic actually, and I have very specified interests, and I can't stand talking to people about things that don't really matter to me. And I know it's really bad. My wife gets upset with me about it, and she probably should, right? It's fair. And so when people want to come up and talk to me about stuff, it's just like, I don't want to talk. I want to think about what I want to think about, or I want to go coach wrestling. I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want to talk to strangers. I know I sound like a total asshole when I say that, but I'm telling you my feelings. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to go to the restaurant and sit down and eat and not have anyone come take a picture and listen. So, I know I sound like an asshole, but I'm telling you my feelings, and that's how it is.
Hey, completely understood. My final question, Ben, who's the bigger problem child, Jake Paul or Sean O'Malley?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know them well enough to really comment on that. I probably have to do a more thorough research of their histories.
Hey, thanks, Ben.
Yep.
Okay, next up is Boxing Social.
Hey Ben, I just had a couple more questions for you.
Yes.
You're in this position with this fight because you're fighting Jake Paul, who's built himself this YouTube empire as such. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that heel hustle that Jake has been going on for the last few years? Do you expect that, and do you think there are lessons that fighters like yourself who are coming up should take lessons from Jake to get to where he is right now?
What was the word you said? Heel hoss?
The heel hustle.
Heel hustle. Ooh, I never heard of that exact terminology. No, you get what you're saying. No, I said earlier, I think it's really important for fighters to understand that the social media and the trash talk and the personality, it's very, very important to progressing your career. And really, when you think about it, I was talking to someone, a baseball player yesterday. It's like, I said, this guy doesn't have a big social media following. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. If his batting average is good and he hits some home runs, he's going to get paid a whole bunch of money. And that's true with other sports. In MMA and boxing and whatever the fuck we're doing this weekend, celebrity fighting, it's just not true. It's like literally, if you can bring a bunch of eyeballs, they're going to pay you a bunch of money. And if you don't understand that, you're a moron, and someone should hit you in the head with a tack hammer.
You said you've been watching a lot of boxing in the lead up to this and looking to replicate some of the moves of some legendary fighters. Who have you watched and who have you been trying to replicate?
I really liked how Tyson bit that dude, so maybe I'll try to bite Jake.
Any other fighters you've been watching?
No, it's just that. That's it.
And just finally from you, can I get your prediction, please, for the fight night?
Seventh round TKO. We'll stick with that.
Brilliant. All the best then.
Thanks,
Ben.